Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to the elect. We just, me and the brothers breaking bread. Just got up to do a lesson about, and call it in the name of religion. This one is going to be predominantly based on Christianity, man. You got a lot of these Christians, in which brothers been breaking, chopping it down through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, man. Getting into the history. All right, getting into the what's actually happening now, man? Because all, like they say, what the scriptures say, the things that happened before time is written for our learning, man. So nothing's new under the sun. The scriptures also say that, man. So we just going to get into a brief little lesson about what does Christianity entail. All right. The forced conversion.
All right, this is a forced conversion in Wikipedia. Forced conversion is adoption of a different religion or irreligion under duress. Some who have forced a
we gotta look up that word too, duress.
Duress?
Yeah, you know what that means?
Yeah, like under duress, like you doing something against your will. Yeah. So, some who have been forced to convert may continue covertly with the beliefs and practices originally held, while outwardly behaving as converts.
Right, and that's these so-called Christians, man. You ask the Christian, they say God and Jesus Christ is the same, or the Spirit, the Holy. What do they say? The Trinity doctrine. We asked them where they get that from. Well, I heard it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you wholeheartedly, that's the spirit of these Christians, man. It's warm out. G-Man probably gonna come down because he wants some company and shit.
Yeah.
All right, but is what it is. But that's the spirit of these Christians, man. They come up, they argue with real men of the Lord on things on opinions that they have, man. Yeah. You ask them bring out some scriptures, they don't bring out shit, man. They just scoff.
Yeah, their entire doctrine is Jesus Christ loves all. You know what I mean? You ask them to break it down, it's just Jesus loves. Jesus is. You know what I mean? They don't have no. Like you said, they regurgitate what they learned from plantation Christianity, which was handed down from their slave masters. From originally Rome, Esau. You know what I mean? from the Crusades of the Romans. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So John, what was that? John 7:38. That basically you believe on Yahweh Shai, out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water, man. We constantly going out there doing videos, breaking down the scriptures the right way, man. With these guys, they bring out one scripture, and that's the end, like the brother Kalab said. Jesus loves everybody, the end, and close the Bible. That was it on that?
Yeah, that's it on that. So what you want to get into the Maccabees?
Yeah, we get into the Maccabees.
All right, Khan, because like the brother was saying before about this religion being forced upon us. When you read about the forced conversion, this is all in the scriptures, man. It's all recorded. All right.
Hey, and real quick, in that article the brother just read, is like you believing on lies and you believing on it so wholeheartedly, and then what? Now you becoming a convert, basically meaning you trying to convert. That word convert means basically to turn someone, back, to turn someone back, man. Okay. So he basically trying to turn us back into Christianity, man. That plantation doctrine, man.
Okay. So let me start at the first book of the Maccabees, chapter 1, and I'll start at 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bared rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
Right, and that's talking about after the death of Alexander the Great, and then that's talking about after the death of Alexander the Great, and then his 4 generals came in the power.
Mm-hmm. And verse 10, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
Right, because you had out of Alexander the Great, you had his 4 generals, was the Cassander, Lysimachus, Seleucus, and Ptolemy.
Okay.
And they all basically went out to conquer different parts of the world. off top of the head, I know that Ptolemy is gonna get into how Ptolemy went over there to Egypt. Seleucid, this is Antiochus came out of the reign of Seleucid, but Seleucid stayed in Greece to rule over Greece. You know.
Yep. And evil is multiplied around the earth. That's where it all started, man.
That's
you damn Edomites, man. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel.
Hey, real quick, that's through the spirit. That's how we know that Esau's Cain, man, because Cain was the first murderer, man.
You
know.
Yep. They said he was going to be a vagabond, you know, and a fugitive on the earth. You know what I mean? A vagabond is a traveler, and if you read Habakkuk, it talks about that he's a proud man and neither can keepeth at home.
Right.
You know what I mean? Spreading throughout the earth, spreading throughout the entire earth as the border of wickedness, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And forcing his religion on brothers, man.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's what's his weapon. What you gonna get into is a sword, man. You know.
Yep. So this is verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen.
Right, because you got to understand, at this point, our people was exiled. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted... Every other nation around us was actually giving consent to the king. We'll bow down to you, like in the book of Daniel. You know, but then it was like a select few of men, all right, that didn't want to bow down to these devils. All right, you're going to see what happened to them, man.
Verse 14, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen.
So they built altars, you know, bowing down to Baal and these different heathen gods, man.
And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief.
And that's our people today, man. What, like G-Man, no beard, you know, it's okay to eat pork, and a lot of our people, man.
Yep.
You know,
and that goes to show when you call yourself uncircumcised, what you're not putting, you know, these people aren't putting the foreskin back on their rods, man. You know what I mean? If you go against the ordinances, the law, statutes, and commandments, you're making yourself unclean. You know, you were formerly of the circumcision, and now you're of the uncircumcision. You're a heathen. You know, and that's what people can't get about the mystery of the Gentiles, because those Gentiles are actually Israelites who were once a part of this thing, but now they made themselves uncircumcised by bowing down to other gods, you know, not following the law, statutes, and commandments, and following the law, statutes, and commandments of men, of the heathen, you know, of this devil.
You know that in Romans we'll talk about the circumcision and
uncircumcision. Let me get that real quick. I was just looking at that too. That's the spirit. Yeah.
Can't remember which one was that. No, it's all good. Just trying
to. Yeah. Yeah, kind of. I was just reading that, but that's all good. Yeah, let me skip down to verse 30 just to get to the point and keep it short. I'll read 29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector to tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit.
All was deceit, man. Cause hey, like they did with the Native American Indians, man. Like Christopher Columbus did. Like Christopher Columbus did with our brothers, the northern, you know, the northern brothers over there, the so-called Hispanics. All right, they came with deceit. I mean, they came with peaceable words, but what was in his heart, man? You got that Psalm 55.
Yeah, Psalm 55 and 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Right, and that's the so-called Christians, man. We want peace. We want to just be as one. You know what I'm saying? But really, you know, we know what they really here to do, man. Like the brother, the elder brother Ariala said, and what's that? The live stream the brothers did the other day.
With Elder Yashawamba and
The brother from ATL, the other brother
Khan,
from
the other
ATL.
brother from ATL, and he called in. You know what I mean? Like pretty much saying like, you know, these guys, you know, these Christians really want to pull us back down into our own vomit. You know what I mean? And just the hypocrisy that, you know, they're calling us the worst people in the world, but who have we killed? You know what I mean? That's what we're going into in the name of religion, because in the name of Christianity, what you had mass genocide out there, man.
Exactly.
You know, how many people died in the name of Christianity? How many compared to how many people died in the name of the Hebrew Israelites?
Right, in the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you know? Just hypocritical, man. Like, you Christians are just played out, man. You know, and we're tired of hearing your bullshit. You know? Con. I'll go back to Maccabees. I'll read that again. And he spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore, and destroyed much of the people of Israel. You know, just like how we see today, like you mentioned, perfect example with the so-called Native American Indians, man, the Gadites.
Right.
You know, and when he had and other examples in modern day. In the Middle East, in the so-called Middle East that you have there today, you know, they're out there in the name of democracy and all these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're out there bombing and gassing women and children.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Also, you could ship drugs back here and all these things. You know, the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. You know, verse 31. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captives and possessed the cattle, and builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall, and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein.
And that's what they're doing today, man, with them Ashkenazi Jews, man. They putting their wicked men, man.
Yeah.
You know, sodomizing the little young boys and shit when they get older, man.
Yeah.
I mean, when they babies and shit.
Right.
You know, sucking their rods and shit.
Yep.
That's a sinful nation in our kingdom. I mean, in our homeland, man. You know, so hey, man, like the scriptures, I'm gonna keep bringing it out, man. How the scriptures say, are the things that No, in Ecclesiastes, there's nothing new under the sun, man.
Yep.
You know?
Verse 35, they stored it also with armor and victuals, and when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there, and so they became a sore snare. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary and an evil adversary to Israel. Thus,
right, so the place, you know, Israel's a sore snare now, because when we tell our people that the so-called the real Jews are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, what people say? Nah, it's some them Khazars, man. The real Jews are white people, man. You know, like that fucking nigga that Apostle Tahar threw up, man. They said cold fuck. Was that he labeled it cold fuck 2/3?
Yeah, cold fuck 2/3, man. See, here it is, man. You got guys that'll say that the people in the rats in that land today are the true Israelites according to the Bible, but when you read surveys that people go out there in the land and ask them questions, they don't even believe in who the world calls Jesus Christ.
Right.
Yet you believe in them, you know? And they don't even know the Torah that well anyway, because the Torah, they believe in the Torah, they believe in the law, they believe in Moses, but Moses prophesied Yahweh Shai. You know what I mean? So that just goes to show neither one of y'all don't know anything, you know? Verse 37, thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it, insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her. I'll keep going. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths unto reproach, her honor unto contempt. You know, basically putting everything upside down. You know, what was once a righteous land is now a wicked land, is now defiled, you know, all in the name of religion, man. You know, because when you go into religion, because the word religion in the New Testament is actually mentioned and it's only meant to be used in the term of worship. You know what I mean? You have something called true religion, which is true worship, which is what the scriptures actually say. Following the ordinances and following the laws. But what does this devil do in the name of religion? In a way, in a sense, to hold back the truth. He turned everything upside down and makes everything unclean and defiled the entire land and all the people.
Exactly. This is Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
Right.
That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Yep. And that's what you have now today, man. Like everything that's counted for as light is all wickedness, man. It's all darkness. Homosexuality is now a good thing. I just read an article. I just saw a lesson that a brother just put up saying that now they're trying to make HIV not a bad thing. They're trying to normalize HIV. You know what I mean? So that homosexuals, so that these faggots out here don't feel it to be a shame to have HIV. That's making evil good. You know what I mean?
And now they have it to where, like, when we out there on the highways and byways and Jay could come by, they don't feel like they connect with this book. They say that's a white man's book. You know what I'm saying? So they putting a religion, you know what I'm saying, or doctrine on our book, man.
Right.
Then when you try to go on it, you thinking of it as a religion. Like the virgin birth thing. That's considered a religion. You know what I'm saying? That's part of Christianity, man.
Right.
We not Christian. Well, we are Christians. You know what I'm saying? But we don't celebrate Christianity. You know what I'm trying to say? Like Christianity brings laws, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you figure Christian, just means a follower of the Messiah, of the anointed. You know what I mean? That's what it is. But they take that and they change it into a religion. You know what I mean? Turn it into something else completely that goes completely against the scriptures, man.
Right.
Verse 40. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
And that's what we coming into now. And that's Esau's new world order, man. So there's nothing new under the sun, man. We're gonna keep saying there's nothing new under the sun.
Yep.
Esau's pushing that new world order, man. That's why he's trying to, there's no such thing as religion. There's no such thing as a male is a male and a female is a female.
Right.
We're all one. All right, but when you go into the scriptures, that cuts that, man. And scriptures cut confusion, man. The scriptures cut all that. Actually, the Most High's a separatist. You want to go that far, man. The Most High only came for Israel. And that's why it's so important for us to be on these corners, out there in the highways and byways pushing the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because the scriptures say, you got something?
Yeah, this is Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, and I'll start at 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Talking about this devil, talking about Esau, talking about the wicked. All right. But the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. But as you touching on what you were saying a moment ago, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. New world order, man. You know what I mean? Bringing everybody in together as one, going against the scriptures, because this was already, there's nothing new under the sun. This was already done in Genesis the 11th chapter, the Tower of Babel. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Everybody,
this is what Esau, this is what the spirit of wickedness was trying to do, heap himself together all people, when the Lord is a separatist, man. Same thing with this devil today in this new world order, man. The Lord's just gonna bust all that up, man, and scatter all the nations again, So on that.
All right. Real quick, I got Isaiah 60:1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yahweh is risen upon thee. Talking about the real truth of the Bible, man. Because the truth, as written in Revelation 11, how in 3.5 days that dead bodies shall lie in the street, something like that.
3.5 days? Yeah, I got that. You're talking about 11:11.
Yeah. Yep.
Is Revelation chapter 11, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
And that's great fear falling upon these Edomites, man.
Yeah.
With seeing us out there in the highways and byways bringing out the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that your like the apostles say, your witchcraft is not working anymore, man.
Yeah.
You know? That was it.
Yeah, that's it on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Go back to First Maccabees.
All right, so this is First Maccabees, verse 43, and yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
And that's what these guys out there. What G-Man say? Why he say he coming out to basically convert us, man, so we could stop going out there and speaking the truth, man.
Right. Yeah.
But we was out there with some fucking a 3-piece suit. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Jesus is the way. We'd be alright.
Right.
You know?
Yep. Just like that's why, because what in Psalms the 83rd chapter too, it says how all these nations came together to discontinue the truth of the scriptures. Let me get it real quick. You know,
Yep.
I don't want to mess it up, man. Might as well quote it. Read it straight up.
Hey, but like the brother Yatazak said last night, man, you motherfuckers got to catch up, man. We not in that time. We just read the prophecy, man. After 3 days and a half, we gonna be woken up, man. We ain't in that time to be fucking sleep, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you can't stop prophecy. All right. Psalms 83:4, they have said, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance." That's why you could go out there on the corner, like the brother said, in a 3-piece suit, saying, Jesus is the way. You could go out there and say that you're a Kemet. You could go out there and say all this other madness. You know what I mean? But as soon as you come out and say that you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians are the true Israelites according to the Bible, come back to your laws and law, statutes, commandments, and believe on Him and repent. Now there's a problem. Now you sending people out here with blowhorns up against us, yelling at us. Now we're the worst people in the world. Now we're rapists and murderers and all these other things that you have no proof of whatsoever. You know what I mean? So that's the point. They all these other nations. A great big investment has been made against us to keep this truth in the dark. But what, through the Spirit and power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, it's all coming out in the light, man.
Exactly.
Like you said, you can't stop the prophecies, man. The Lord is going to bring us all back. He's going to seal His 144 and the 1/3 who are scattered abroad throughout the 4 corners of the earth, and we're going to get out of here, man. And all you other nations are going into slavery.
That's right.
All right, so verse 45 back in Maccabees, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the day they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he should die. That's the kings of these nations. That's these Edomites. That's these Romans out there, which we're modern day Rome now. They're they forced the children of Israel by the edge of the sword to discontinue from their heritage and to take up the customs of the land, take up the customs of the heathen.
Right. Yeah. So man, I'm gonna close it up there.
Yeah,
man. It's, like I said, it's just a brief lesson in the name of religion, man, namely Christianity, man. You see what time we coming into. All right. They can't stop the truth, so they're just gonna start putting brothers to death.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.